Good morning, everybody. Victoria Moran here, live from New York City. And you know what? To be able to say live from New York City right now is a pretty wonderful thing. We have flattened our curve. Did you hear Governor Cuomo say that? So it's been that way for a couple of days now. So hopefully things are looking up here, and we'll be looking up soon in other places around this country and around the world. Good morning, Eddie. I love to see people joining in. It's really fun and really gratifying. So the quote for today comes from my book, Fit From Within, and it says, "This might be the perfect time to tend to the little rips, tears, and loose buttons of life before you find yourself in the middle of the street, half-dressed and wondering what happened." So we're going to talk a little bit about rips and tears and loose buttons. Speaking of fashion-y things, I do want to tell you who designed this dress. And also a few days ago, I did one of these, and I was wearing one of her dresses too, the gray one with little black spots. She is a wonderful PETA-approved vegan fashion designer, and her name is Lois Eastlund, E-A-S-T-L-U-N-D, and you can find her designs at loiseastland.com and order online. So, you know, we haven't been shopping in a while. It might be a little bit fun. So I want to kind of apologize for yesterday because I was off yesterday. I don't know how much that showed. I haven't been playing the video, but when I spoke with you yesterday morning, I was really anxious. I had come back from walking the dog, and I had had two coronavirus scares. Now, this is New York City, and we're pretty packed, and even now, there are people on the street. So I got out with my dog a little bit late. It was maybe 6:45, and we'd gone halfway around the block, which was enough for him to do what dogs need to do outside. But it was such a beautiful morning, and there didn't seem to be many people out. And I thought, you know what? You can just walk down by the park. You don't have to go in Central Park and walk around the mirror like I was doing a couple of weeks ago, but just go and just remember that it's there, and it'll make you feel better, and the dog will like it. And something told me, you know, the little voice, still small voice, was saying, not such a good idea. And then I looked around, and it seemed like there were more people than I thought. But it's sometimes hard to know what is the still small voice and what is my regular lazy self that would tell me, oh, don't do that. just go home, sit, go do something comfortable. You don't need any more exercise. And then there was also, of course, the part of me that wants to give my dog a good life. So I said, no, I'm just going to go on down there. It's only 5 short blocks. So I walked down and, navigating people as I went. And 2 things happened when I got there and on the way back. 2 close encounters with humans that I hadn't seen coming. And I didn't know how scared it made me until I got home and things just started to feel not right. So by afternoon, I had actually scared myself into feeling sick. And my temperature tends to be low. I think women out there listening, you probably know this. I mean, I haven't been 98.6 since I was probably 12. But yesterday, I was so worried, and I took my temperature, and it was 98.4, which I know for a regular person wouldn't seem like anything except 0.2 of a point, not quite up there. But I was really, really scared. So I went to bed, I took really good care of myself, I talked with some very comforting friends, I drank green juice, I used the Thieves essential oils, and then I just had to turn myself over to the universe. What else can you do? So today, I'm not afraid, and I want to talk a little bit about not just rips and loose buttons, but also about bravery and courage. Hi, Tare, out there in California. And at the end, if you'll stay with me through to the end, I'm going to play a really special song. I told you that in my newsletter this Friday, if you sign up at mainstreetvegan.net, I'm going to send you my playlist of most inspiring songs. And they're a real mix. Some of them are classical, and some of them are popular, and some are spiritual. And this one actually comes from the genre of posse music. Have you heard of posse music? It's kind of a little bit in the folk world, but it's really there to just kind of lift people up and make you feel happier. Grant Butler, wonderful food writer. Nice to see you here this morning. So, bravery and tending to those loose buttons and things kind of have a cross, because sometimes the bravery I need for getting through life is to just do what needs doing. There's a wonderful phrase that I think started in the 12-step programs that says to do the next indicated thing. That is so helpful to me, because you can never go wrong when you're really just looking for the next indicated thing, and you just step up to that. And very often the next indicated thing isn't glamorous or terribly important, and yet it's like stepping up on the next step because it takes you where you need to be going. Sometimes bravery can be sidestepped. You can change stuff in your life so you don't have to be so brave. And you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So what I've done on that count today is that I called my dog walking service. That's something a lot of us have here in New York City. I always had a dog walker twice a week, and that way they were sort of on retainer for when I went out of town and needed a little bit more help. But I had canceled them when the building changed the rules that nobody could come upstairs. But I did call them, and so for the evening walk now, the one where it seems like the most people are out on the street, a nice, young, brave man is going to be doing that. And he has one of those special masks, the N, whatever it is, mask and special gloves. And so I'll just be passing Forbes over to Carlos every afternoon. And I'm so grateful. And I've just scheduled that for all of April. And then we'll reconsider in May and see how things look. So sometimes it means just changing life so I don't have to go out there and scare myself. And other times it means, you know what? You're just going to scare yourself. Deal with it. And that actually happened this morning. So this morning I got up really early, 5:30. I've always aspired to be one of those people who gets up every morning at 6. That just kind of seemed like the magical time, that the people who get up at 6 are the ones who do the most in the world. My natural time to wake up is probably 7. So I do this game with 6, you know, this kind of back and forth, and I'll get up at 6 for a while and I revert back. But now that I see that 5:30 is really when I need to get up to safely walk the dog in the morning, I see that it gives me so much day. When you get up at 5:30, so much can be done by 8 o'clock. It's really like you get a head start on everything. So this morning, it was a fabulous walk. We were out before everybody. I'll bet I didn't see 15 people, and each one of them I was very much able to get away from, at least 6 feet's worth. And I thought, you know what, I have aced this thing, I've got it figured out. And I came in through my lobby door because I knew there was a UPS package, and my lovely morning doorman was there, and they've set something up so there's a table so that the doorman puts your object on the table, and then you go to the table and pick it up, and he's away and you're away, and it all works out. But this morning, early morning, this lovely man that I've seen every morning for the past 7 years leaned across the table and handed me this package. Now, I have a lifetime of training from a little kid and practice, I hope, in my adult life of being gracious. And when somebody hands me something with a smile, I receive it. And you know what? 1 month of training in social distancing was not enough to override all those years of trying to be gracious. And so I reached and took the package, and as soon as I did, my measuring stick came up, and it's like, my gosh, you're 3 feet apart from each other. Well, you know what? That happened. And these things seem to happen just about every day. And to me, I think it's a little lesson from the universe. That is, you do absolutely everything you can. You follow all the rules. You take care of yourself. You do your very best. You take all the steps. You remember what you're supposed to remember. And you know what? You're still not in charge. And I have some peace with that today. And I hope that sharing that is helping you too. So before the musical interlude, which I'm so excited about, I do want to tell you a couple of things that are happening today. Homeschooling workshop, 4 p.m. Eastern Time with Karen Ramsey. Karen is a licensed teacher, a speech pathologist, and she's also a raw food educator. She's the author of Creating Healthy Children through Raw Foods and Attachment Parenting. She homeschooled 2 children all the way through high school, and I homeschooled 1 daughter all the way through high school, and all 3 of these children are out in the world, very successful and happy. So hopefully Karen and I will have something to offer to people who are homeschooling temporarily and never thought they'd be doing that. And I do want to do a shout out also to teachers. I know that a lot of teachers are saying, well, you're not homeschooling, we're still doing the lesson plans and the grading and all that. And that's really true. Maybe we should call it co-schooling, that everybody is in there for the kids right now. So that is 4 o'clock Eastern Time. I'll post it on Facebook. And if you don't see it, just drop me an email, victoria@mainstreetvegan.net. And I have another announcement, another gift for you and for other people that you want to share this with. Unity, the wonderful spiritual organization that hosts my weekly Main Street Vegan podcast, is offering all of their Spiritual Explorers courses free for the month of April. So I have a course there that is called Compassionate Eating. It's introduction to veganism, but also I think nice for people who are already vegan. And it's a little bit from the spiritual point of view. I always come at it also from the history, which I think is a little bit unique about what I do. So you might love the Compassionate Eating course, and the way that you can find it is to go to tinyurl.com/veg class, U like unity, VEG class, and it'll say when you go there that it's $59.95. But go ahead and enroll, and when you get to the payment page, it will say 0. So I'll put all this, of course, also on Facebook, and hope that a lot of you will want to take advantage of that. Hi, everybody. Hi, Joseph Connolly. Sandy Nasanowitz, happy 1 day belated birthday to you. And now I have a little bit of a present for everybody, I hope. And this is the beautiful song from my friend Jana Stanfield, who's really big in the posse music genre. And her song is called If I Were Brave. So if all my button pushing works, you'll be able to hear this. It's 5 minutes, so sit back, close your eyes, relax, and think about what would each of us do if indeed, right now, today, we were brave. Okay, well, as usual, I'm having technical difficulties. I worked so hard to get this little speaker to do what it's supposed to do. This morning it did. Now it didn't. So I'm going to take the speaker out and play you the song through the computer speaker and hope that that's almost as good.
Not fail if I If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were what we secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, are there miracles in you and me? You know there are. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were
Thank you all for hanging in and being here. That was from YouTube, and you can look it up. I don't know how well I did with the camera, if you were able to see the wonderful images and the words about what people did. These incredible, brave people who did things that most people just don't think of doing. So I'd love to see, just in our last minute together, how are you brave? What brave thing have you done in your life that you're really proud of? I have a couple. I moved to London on my 18th birthday. And I moved to New York City when I was 50. You know, most people do that when they're 22, right out of high school, and really do believe that they cannot fail. Well, maybe a little bit of that cannot fail spirit is good for all of us. So thank you all so much. I just so appreciate your being here and being part of Enchanted April. If you're willing to share this little endeavor with others, I would be tickled to pieces. And I wish you today a day that's brave and complete and surprisingly enchanted. See you tomorrow. Bye, all.